Hello, everyone. It's Singdong from Accounting Pod. I'm very happy to have Ling Zhuo from Good Health Products to join me for a bit of a chat today. Ling's an old friend, so it's great to see you, Ling. How are you?
Hi, good.
Yeah, so Ling's checking in from their Auckland office. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, so I think today's agenda is that Ling will introduce I'll introduce Ling briefly, and then I think we'll jump into a bit of a conversation around just Ling's inspiring journey from being an international student um, at Otago University through her now role as CFO of Good Health Products Limited, which is a growing business, and it's just really fantastic to see what you have achieved, Lynn. Congratulations. I'm
Thank
sure
you.
our students will find the conversation insightful and inspiring as well. So, yeah, so Ling, as we mentioned, is an international student turned CFO now, and I think throughout our conversation, a lot of the things, I guess, the things that we want our students to know about you, or that the things that we want them to learn will come out. So I think we'll maybe, Ling, would you like to just introduce yourself briefly to the audience?
Well, I originally come from China. I'm from
Yeah.
southern China, Guangzhou. So my mother tongue is Cantonese. And I do speak Mandarin as well. So I just have to say that language does give me advantage being New Zealand in this multiculturalism country. So I come here study when I was like 18 and in Dunedin. Then I just graduate. Somehow I stay here and here where I am today, still in New Zealand.
Fantastic, great, yeah. So then I've got a serious list of questions I want to ask you. So I think we'll jump into those things. I guess let's just maybe walk down the memory lane and starting from, I guess, where you started in New Zealand, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess, could you talk about the experience and the most memorable things from studying in good old Dunedin as an international student?
I still remember when I first day arrived in New Zealand, like I never speak to anyone in English. I do speak English, follow the tape, in China we do have an English subject. You follow the tape to say, good morning, hello, how are you? So I arrived, my homestay picked me up, and that was the first time I speak English to them. So yeah, it's a bit of novelty, and you were too young to afraid. Everything you have just excitement. So that's
Yeah,
how I started my Dunedin journey in New Zealand.
fantastic. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What a way to start. So first time speaking English to native speakers. Uh,
Yes.
how was that? Was it frightening? Was it
It
exciting?
was, yeah, exciting, right? You've been
Mm.
practicing thinking what you're going to say, and then you're trying to say, try on what you've been practicing. And I think my first homestay, she had a couple of child, so the children are
Mm.
very friendly, got a
Mm.
hug straight
Yeah.
away at the airport. So it was a nice
Mm.
experience.
Yeah.
Lovely nation, friendly people.
Yeah, I think we all share that experience, right? Coming to New Zealand, just how kind people are, right? And
Yeah.
I guess in particular in the regions as well.
Mm.
Yeah, just so you spent about through 3 years at Otago University. Could you
Four,
just
4 years, 4 years
yeah,
degree.
yeah.
Yeah. Over four
Could you talk
years.
about a little bit about that experience? As an international student, I guess in terms of learning, in terms of socializing, the things that you did, the things that you regret that you didn't do, maybe.
The thing I didn't do, I regretted. Maybe the party. I stay in a homestay, so I have to leave to catch the last bus about 5:30. I still remember in the morning when I wake up, come to the university, walk past that one of the street with all the student flat. You see all the burning couch, and something
Um,
must have happened the night before. I definitely missed that.
yeah.
Yeah, and what else? I did a bit different. I didn't do foundation. At
Mm,
the time I chose to go to Polytech. And I still
mm,
remember when I was language center, everyone going to foundation, I'm the only person going to politics. I almost miss my enrollment because I kind of forget about what I'm doing. But also that point of difference give me some more opportunity, because in the politics at the time there hardly any Chinese students. So I have a very good starting point about environment, language environment. My home state speak English. And then the politics, everyone speak English. I can't even find anyone who can speak Chinese to me. So that was a good, hard landing, but a good starting point to build up the confidence in language. Yeah.
So kind of force yourself to basically speak it every day, all the time. Yeah. So that really helped you in building the language skills, right?
Yes.
So you studied accounting? And
I did accounting and business law, but I just started with management in politics. I didn't think about accounting at all. It wasn't my passion at the time for accounting. It was not my best subject, so I do a lot of management. Did that in the politics, and somehow I did very well in accounting. And I thought to myself, I'm graduate as someone don't even have English as my first language. How would earth someone offer me a management role? I need to learn a skill. So then my accounting subject was okay at the time, doing quite well. Then when I moved to uni, I switched my subject to accounting.
Yeah. So and the rest is history, right? It's now basically your passion, right?
Yeah, I love it. Now, at the beginning, everyone think accounting dry. It is a drive with numbers sometimes. But when you work a long time in that profession, you understand the number, and then you start looking at the story behind the number. And that is the interesting part come in. You can tell lots of stuff, lots of story from the number. Once you're doing this, everything becomes very interesting.
Yeah, so we are the storytellers of numbers, right?
Yes.
Tell stories through numbers. That's right. So what advice do you have for students who are currently starting their, I guess, university journey in New Zealand and starting accounting in particular?
Well, what advice I can give? Same thing. Look inside the number. If you really love number, you're a number person, choosing accounting is great. But I know lots of people choosing accounting because of practical. You can learn some basic skill that can lead you to any industry, any role in the business. Then maybe sometimes you find number is dry. To overcome that, just trying to understand what the number telling you rather than focus on adding the thing together, because getting the correct number doesn't tell you anything. As those patterns that can make a difference into the business. So look inside more, not just adding 1 to 1 to 2, that kind of thing. That definitely make your study journey a lot more interesting and grow you more as well.
And really apply your mind to what you see and ask questions.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So just looking back, right, what would you have done differently apart from, obviously more partying?
What I've done differently. When I first come, I don't speak very good English, and I was a little bit scared of choosing other subjects. So I thought accounting was a safe thing to choose. So at the time I really like law and I like media, right? So later on, when my third year at university, when I do law, I noticed that one subject I get A+ actually is law paper, not accounting paper. And then later on in my career, I found everyone doing the media doing very well because there aren't enough Chinese doing media. So I kind of limited myself at the time because I didn't think I can speak good enough English. You know what? If something you're passionate about, do it, because if you come here university, you're young, you have great potential to achieve whatever you achieve. If I did choose another profession, I could do very well as well. But doesn't say I don't love my profession. I think if you choose accounting already, and none of us, I'll get stuck with what you choose, because no matter what you do, if you don't know enough, and you will enjoy it. And every job, the beginning is the hardest, driest. So be brave to choose what you're passionate about. If you have to make a decision, stick with it.
Very practical, solid advice there. In terms of confidence, we see that in a lot of the students, in terms of lacking confidence, and it really is a big issue for a lot of international students. Um, so how could someone go about building confidence about themselves, at that early stage and at a young age in a completely new country, right?
Yeah, I guess if you're willing to build your confidence, as the best place you build confidence. You are going to a new place, no one already know you. You can present learn another syndrome. No one know where you are before. Right? If you fail, you can always go back to your home country. You have something to fall back. So I think confidence is you are actually worry too much. You want to do something, think, what if I've done it wrong, right? That is holding you back. Just think about it. You're a new place. You have every opportunity to do something you haven't tried before. Do not worry about making failure. I think the person I mind the most is not the successful person. It's the one fail and they stand up again and try to do it again. So maybe you may don't appreciate you at the beginning, but when they get older, looking back, they will think, wow, that person is brave. He's been doing again and again until you get it right. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid you look stupid. You can only look stupid when you're young. You want to make yourself look stupid now, and you got an excuse. Then when you go out and then older, you won't make yourself stupid. So, just be not afraid to make mistakes and look full of yourself.
That's really about resilience, isn't it? Not afraid of failing, but learn from those mistakes and get up and do again. Never give up. Right? Just keep going, never give up. Yeah.
And once you do that, people will see you as a confident person. I think.
That's right. Yeah. Then I think you're one of the best networkers I've ever known. You're very good with people. You're very good at networking, building relationships. Could you just talk a little bit about where did you learn that skill and how did you develop that skill?
I guess my personality, I'm like extrovert. And when I do networking, I didn't think I'm doing networking. I'm just being open. I actually like being with people. I like talk to people. I get energy by talking to people. And when I go to networking room with lots of people, sometimes I wasn't going with the purpose. I look around, that person is a bit lonely. Maybe I should make a conversation there. We can make a good friend for each other. And when we have a conversation, I listen to them, I ask questions about them. Just use your heart and things will come. When you're purposely doing something special for networking, because people interrupt people. So the more genuine you are, you're more likely to win friends. So there's no secret about it. Just be kind, be friendly, be really curious about someone, listen to them. Not faking it. And you never know, maybe that person on the corner no one talk about is not the most famous that person everyone want to talk to, but that person might link to another person. That person might be someone superficial. They will just quiet on the corner. You never know how you make the connection. Just keep doing it and then you will enjoy every networking event you go to. Then it build up. So you need to enjoy what you're doing. Not like I have purpose to meet a lot of people, just use your heart. Sometimes that's how it works.
Yeah, so being empathetic and really listen to what people have to say and trying to understand their perspective, kind, honest, fantastic.
Yeah, summarize well.
That's right, yes, yeah. And that's really a key skill, isn't it? And a lot of the things we're doing now as you, I guess, progress in your profession, right? It's becoming a lot more about people and it's always about people. That's right. And numbers work for people. So how do we help people to understand their numbers, to help their business to grow or whatever their goal may be? So I'm curious, what was the best piece of advice you received as a student when you were studying?
I cannot say any a best advice, but I do receive a lot of encouragement from my teachers, from my friends, and I think that really helped.
Yeah.
Just be proactive. If I can think about, I want to give someone, be proactive for everything, try everything. Don't think about what you can get from anything. Like I do lots of volunteer work, and now I'm looking back, I'm getting lots of support from the people are doing volunteer work together because they are kind of giving person. That's why they involve in volunteer work. So with doing that, you get to know those very good person that can teach you on your way, tap you shoulder, give you a little advice, nothing significant, but how you through all the way, and you meet great friends, and you learn experience, organizing skills, people skills, and it's like a free classes because you don't get paid. What you get paid is friendship and coaching from those organizations. Yeah.
Yeah. So be open-minded and be proactive and get involved in the community
Yes.
around you.
Yes. Sorry, just need to getting that recharge. Cool.
That's good. Yeah, so what happened following on from your university studies? Just tell us a bit about that journey post-university study and make that first step, I guess, in start building your career.
Yeah, we have a very similar first step in the syndrome, right? That's where we met in the Chicago. So I got my first job in the Chicago. At the time, I tried to look for a job in Dunedin, and basically what I did, I pulled out a yellow phone book, I applied every single job, accounting job in Dunedin. That was like probably 9 months before I graduated. Didn't get to the final interview or second interview, never get a final job.
Yeah.
Then I looked elsewhere. Somehow my home state pointed me a job on the newspapers from in Chicago. I went there, meet a great guy that he was that then was the president of the NZECA, New Zealand Chartered Accountancy. So I thought, why not take opportunity to go to a smaller town working for this great man, which is the president of the New Zealand Chartered Accountancy Association, right? And my starting point is from in Chicago, which same with you, right? And that little place give us so much friendship opportunity. Something I would never get it if I in the bigger city. Maybe it will be forgetful. No one will notice us. So, sometimes starting from a small place is not a bad thing.
That's right, yeah. So you really have to
And
just
just don't start on something if you never get any job in one place,
look beyond where you are.
Yes.
Be flexible, right?
Yes.
Really be flexible about what would like to do. Right. So, what was the biggest challenge you faced in stepping into the workforce? I guess you got that job, right? What was the biggest challenge?
Well, to get that job, sometimes you know how to get that job, or after I'm in that role.
After you got into that role, yes.
Right. I think it's the people skill. I think that it comes down once you the personality. So you need to have the people right purpose skill, and then to be positive, a good communicator. That is the biggest challenge for any senior role. I think at the end of the day, you probably know as well. Any technical skill you can build over time, but the people skill and communication skill and the positive attitude and this can-do attitude, take on new thing. Don't say, oh, it's not my job description, or I do that because I want to get that. Just being open for any opportunity, work really hard. That people skill is what step you up to a next position, and that is the biggest challenge: communication and people skill.
Communication. Right. So what advice do you have for students who are going through this process, right? Having difficulty getting a job, first of all, and then getting into a job, and one might, find it difficult, maybe to really contribute or, becoming part of the team.
Getting the job, the first part, getting the job right. Just be proactive. Keep looking. Look outside your area. Look for the opportunity. Don't limit yourself in one box, one area.
Mm.
Don't be afraid failure. Like when I told you I go through every single candidacy from a yellow page for Dunedin, imagine how many letters I received saying no thank you. Don't worry about it. By you receive 10 letters, you feel nothing and just keep doing it. It is a number game. I'm doing a little bit of recruitment at the moment. You know, sometimes it's not, you are not the best candidate. There were so many other factors that involved that you didn't get a job. When you get a job, you might not necessarily the best candidate. Maybe there are other quality you have that they like it, they have you. So don't question about yourself and just keep doing it steadily, like steady doing a 5 job per day. And then if you didn't get it, ask for feedback. If they can get great, if they don't give to you, don't be afraid and just after 10 job, one person give you good feedback, that's enough. Just keep doing it. Once you got that job in the workforce, you must have the ability to do the job. Otherwise, they will not recruit you in the first place, or they know they can train you up. So don't question about yourself. Just work hard. The key thing is trying to be fit in the culture, fit in the team. You don't need to change yourself to another person to fit in the culture, but you need to be humble, positive, ask questions, trying to understand how people doing things, and also trying to show people your view, your different culture, but you're coming from a good intention, how people understand you as well. So be a good
Just
part of
being
the team
open.
player.
Being open. You know, those people skills or communication skills you talked about just now really could work in that kind of scenario, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so just looking back at that part of your journey, what would you have done differently?
Well, the only thing I mentioned that when I first came, I didn't consider other profession, right? I really like media and I like
Yeah.
law. If I'd done it differently, I would have given a go on those 2 careers. But once I make a decision, go to accounting, and I think everything just come naturally. I wouldn't do anything differently. I just go with the flow. Yeah, just go with the flow and be consistent. Continue hard work, it will lead you to success, I think. If not very successful, you will still doing quite well. Yeah.
That's fantastic, Ling, and the profession is lucky to have you. So as you started your professional career, what were the biggest learnings early on in terms of networking, professional development, community involvement, etc.?
I did lots of community work. I think same with you, Cindy, right? So be in the community, especially when you first start your career, you don't have family, you know, you don't have children and your family actually in your own country. You're probably here on your own, which means you've got lots of free time. Just be very, start instead of playing game, sleeping in, just get up early, be involved in the community. That's how you meet people. That's how the network to start. So that's what I think what we did, right? We met in the community activity. We volunteer a lot. Every weekend we're doing something volunteer.
That's
for
right.
different events.
Yeah, and we strongly encourage volunteerism here at Accounting Pod. You know, it's a fantastic place to build relationships, community network, and skills.
Yeah.
Fast forward to now, Ling, you know, you've done a whole lot of things since Invercargill. What's a typical day now for Ling?
My typical day, right? I arrive in the office. So my first thing I'm getting quickly have look planning my day, important planning your day. I will figure out what is the most important thing I need to achieve. Normally I got 3 things in my mind. The night before I'll probably write down 3 things on the piece of paper so I know this is my focus today. And then my staff will come to see me. The first one will come to bring me a big chunk of approval. So as a CFO, every expenses I need to review or approve. So I spent a bit of time to looking through the preliminary work she's done, talk her through, and then look at what is our view in the finance. And then I present it to the CEO and, you know, highlight what is the key thing you need to look at, what kind of thing I think is okay. You can just go ahead. So my beginning day start making a decision, like looking at approval stuff. And then you got a second lot of approval looking at order pricing, and I'll got someone else what will look at order pricing, order special discounts, what kind of promotion we would give away. And then from there, you probably look at, well, I want to look at some net contribution for this particular customer, looking at whether they're profitable or not. So from there, probably lead to some new project work to analyze the profitability of that customer and then or that group. So you see how you involve in the discussion, you see opportunity to provide more information. So then you share that finding anything significant with the manager or the CEO. Yeah, so basically you're looking at things from the number, you're trying to find out a logic, the story, then you can lead to something else. And then maybe that thing I found out can lead to an improvement. For example, this morning I see an inventory write-off list. Then you look at, oh, why does it need to be write-off? Maybe a decision made back then. Some information wasn't complete, so you go back to the department, what lead to that decision, how can we improve the decision in the process, then you update the policy, etc. So it's constant of process improvement through the number you're reading, because you are the one holding all the number and basically have all the data at the end of business, then you can use to tell a story and then initiate some improvement in business. Yeah.
Fantastic.
So, it's a typical day, just like
Typical
that.
day. Sounds very busy and engaging. So how do you manage the balance between, I guess, because you have a young child, right? I guess the workload and the family commitment, and at the same time being a CFO of a multi-million-dollar business.
Taking break. So being very focused what you're doing. I think my day is a lot more efficient than before I have a young child. Now you get up early. I spend time with him. I try to be very, I dedicate my time with him on the weekend, but I work really hard during the week. So I try to plan everything very accurately and know what I need to focus so I can, finish work reasonable on time, then pick up my son, then have my family time. So you just need to plan everything quite well. You don't normally sleep in as much, but you get up early, you do things. Another thing I do, I don't have a nanny, so maybe, at least I'll drop off my son at the nanny for a few hours, then I can go for a swim, go to gym, just have at least 3 hours, my me time, a coffee, and exercise that recharge. So I can give best to my child and I can give best to my work, because I need to have a rest to give 100% to my family and to my work. So taking a break when you need it.
That's a really great advice. Yeah, keeping well physically and mentally, so that you can be, whether it's with family or with your work.
And well organize everything, just because your time is so valuable now. It's not like I can waste my time just doing nothing. Yeah.
So what do you use to manage your time? Do you use a particular tool, or how do you do that?
You as a mother, as soon as you become a mother, you start your organization skill just improve straight away. You will think as though everything you do, you look at the routine. Yeah, you give your children a good routine, then you follow that routine. So everything just
have a routine for yourself.
Have a routine. You keep thinking about it. It becomes a constant thinking. How can I make my time more efficient? And
you mentioned a couple of things. I know you are a fantastic dancer.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's I think for a lot of us, it's very difficult to to find, I guess, the being organized enough to to cultivate that kind of hobbies or interest.
Yeah.
So getting organized is absolutely key in managing your time. Right. Yeah.
Yes, that's
And
right.
yeah, and through those hobbies, you will meet people as well. Is that right, Lynn? And you just never know how useful it could be for your career or for your professional journey as well.
Yeah, with dancing, a different angle. Probably with my dancing, not necessarily I'm going to meet another CEO or another business owner, that kind of thing, but I'm
Mm,
meeting a bunch of young, energetic dance group,
mm,
right?
yes.
So that kind of break out from my professional career and my stereotype accounting, that give
Mm,
a fresh thinking to me, and I think differently. They talk about maybe girl fashion, they talk about technology,
mm,
nutrition, fun,
mm,
that kind of thing. It just balance out your right and your left head.
that's
So
right. Yeah.
that keep exercise you so you're never too far away and become a very stereotype accountant.
Mm.
So for
So
me, the
you grow
value is
that
more of
creativity. Yeah.
the greater creativity and the mix of different type of people. Then you can
Mm,
relate to those people better. So that's building your people skill as well. So not necessarily meeting someone can point me a job for my career, but as a great
mm,
value of meeting people from a different crowd, learning a different
mm,
to get a balance about understand different people act differently, so you can relate to them in the workforce because you
mm.
come across different people at work.
That's
Yeah.
right. Meeting different people, different views, and cultivate your creativity, which is actually really important in not just the accounting profession, but every profession, right? In this
Hmm.
age of automation and artificial intelligence, how can we beat AI? We need to be creative human beings. Mm.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
yeah, so this is probably a big question here. So, as a female business leader in New Zealand, Lynn, what
Yeah.
advice do you have for aspiring business professional women?
Um. Well, sometimes I think, why do we want, try to don't limit yourself. Don't think I'm a woman, then
Mm,
I will have a glass ceiling, or I have, something I can't do. Just try your best. Trying to organize. If you can do it, great. If you can't, you'll find another way to doing it. When you come across any conflict, any challenge, don't think because I'm a woman, they treat me differently, because I'm Asian, that I can't do that. Don't have that glass ceiling for yourself. I'm not talking about the people have glass ceiling enforced to you. I think most of the time we enforce a glass ceiling to us. So
mm,
when people say things to me, I never take it as offensive. I never think because I'm a woman they would don't be fair with me. Because I'm Asian, they're not going to be fair for me. I'll think about because I'm a woman, I carry a different ethnic perspective. Because I'm Asian,
mm,
I can teach them the Asian culture. So I always see them as my advantage. So I have no fear in my career. And
mm,
somehow that gives me a very positive energy. And people get drawn to my energy. And maybe that's why I get more opportunity.
mm.
That's the way I interpret it from my experience. Just
Fantastic.
be a brave. Whatever you want to do, try to achieve, but don't limit yourself because your sex or your nationality. Yeah.
Mm, yeah. So have no fear.
Yes, no fear. And just
Yeah.
trying to find a way to work it. So if it does work, great. If it doesn't work, don't even feel failure. Just move on another channel.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah. What a great mindset you have. So then what's next for you?
Um, well, I think I'm still relatively young CFO. I'm very grateful I got that opportunity. Actually, I have to thank you
Mm,
because you know, that opportunity. And now I just want to do well in my role. I mean, as a CFO, there's so much you can learn when you get into the story. you dig into things, there's so much thing you can dig out and learn and improve. So my next focus just to continue learning, get more deep in my role, and hopefully I can make more contribution and provide more good information for the CEO or the senior manager, use my data to make a sound decision for the business.
Fantastic. Yeah, learning never stops. So what's Lynn's big dream?
My big dream, I haven't got any big dream. I want a balanced life. If I had to say a big dream, I think it would be ideal that I can work. My work can be, I don't have to start in one place. I can travel when I'm working. I don't want to be just doing a big travel. I still want some sort of work to feel alive and learning. So my big dream is possible one day I have a business or I have a role that I can travel around, I can still lead my team, use the technology so I can get to see the world. I can still continue work, maybe not full-time or part-time. So maybe somehow one day like that, but at the moment I'm very happy to working full-time to be driven and learning in one place. But travel in the future, maybe a big dream, but with some sort of work I can travel in with.
Maybe in a flying car or around within, to another planet. Maybe is that that kind of you're talking about?
Yeah, just like basic traveling. I've been working really hard. I haven't traveled many places in the world, so just typical. Everyone wants to travel around the world. That could be one of the dreams I want to achieve later on.
Fantastic. Hey, Lynn, thank you so much. I've really enjoyed the conversation, and I think we have some very lucky students today to hear your insight, your experience and stories and advice and wisdom. And I hope that whatever you dream for becomes reality. I know it will. All the best for your role, obviously, and with the young baby as well. So from all the team here, thank you so much, Lynn. Do you have any other comments for our students?
Just be proactive, be positive, don't be afraid, don't question yourself. There's nothing impossible you can't do. And youth is the best opportunity. You can change everything. Yeah, don't be afraid. Be confident with what you are, who you are.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Lynn. Be fearless, just like Lynn. That's what we need to be. All right. We will close this conversation. And thank you once again for your time, Lynn. Really appreciate it when we have a
You're welcome.
busy day. Thanks for fitting us in. And I'll be in touch soon. Thank you.
Thanks for having me here.
Thanks,
Bye.
Bye.